This is why you should never steal anything from a museum, because you have no idea what's gonna come along with it. If you want to steal something, you should steal something new, like an iPad or data. But sometimes you don't even have to take something to have a horrible curse thrown onto your body. For today's list, we are going to be counting down some of the worst witchcraft that could be attached to your person. Hello, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I'm your host, Shade Arena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I have scoured the internet to let all of you at home know what you should be on the lookout for with today's list of top 10 scary real life curses. For any of you at home who are looking for more Most Amazing Top 10 content, you should head over to our Instagram and Facebook pages because we have a ton of stuff over there for you guys. And stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have the My Way curse. Are you a big time karaoke fan? Do you love to jam out to Frank Sinatra? Well, you might want to avoid My Way as your next pick because it might not end that well for you. For this curse, we're gonna have to head over to the Philippines. The curse is pretty straightforward, but still extremely bizarre. It seems that there is a considerably high amount of people who have been killed while singing the song My Way during karaoke. Wait. What? How could someone get killed by a song? Well, it's not so much that people are singing the song and then they drop dead like the 7th day after you've watched The Ring on VHS. No, these killings can be as serious as shooting. Someone in the Philippines was once shot while singing My Way, and the person who was guilty for committing this horrible act said they did this because they didn't like the way the person was singing the song. That's a little bit of a harsh reaction if you ask me. I would probably just put in some headphones or something. There have been over a dozen people who have been linked to deaths that involve the singing of My Way. This is so weird. Coming in at number 9, we have Anna Baker's wedding dress. I'm telling you, it is impossible to do a list of curses, ghosts, or haunted buildings without throwing in a lady who had her wedding screwed up. And let me tell you, Anna Baker is no different. Anna Baker was dying to get married. She had everything ready to go. She had bought the dress. She had the venue picked out. And least important, she had the dude she wanted to marry. But right when her wedding date was coming up, her dad kiboshed the whole thing. So Anna, now depressed, had to walk away from her love and pack up her dress and never ended up getting married. The Baker house in Pennsylvania, where the family used to live, is now a museum, and many people will come to experience the curse of Anna Baker. It's said that her angry ghost still walks the halls, and sometimes it will rattle the glass case where her wedding dress is being held. Coming in at number 8, we have the curse of King Tut's tomb. I mean, you break into a place that's not yours. You read something on the wall that says, beware, if you dig this dude up, you're gonna die, and then a bunch of you go in anyway, and then a bunch of you die. What did you think was gonna happen? You can't be that rude and have no consequences. If you don't know, in the early 1920s, some archaeologists found the tomb of King Tutankhamun, and even though there were several warnings around the tomb saying death will come swiftly to any of those who decide to enter, they decided to enter anyways, disturbing this peaceful dude. And guess what happened? Over the course of 6 years, 11 people who went to the tomb or people who were attending the dig died all prematurely. So the moral of this story is, if it's not yours, don't touch it. Coming in at number 7, we have Timur's curse. Another dude who was buried and left a note that he didn't want to be dug up, or he will bring a lot of problems. That's what I'm gonna put on my tomb. That way, no one will ever mess with my remains. Or I'll just get cremated and I'll have someone dump my ashes into the place where they keep all the powder for the Kraft mac and cheese, because I think that would be really funny. But my boy Timur was one of the most ruthless conquerors of all time. He killed millions of people, and on his tomb it said, don't open it or you will bring the wrath of someone worse than me. I'm paraphrasing. So Joseph Stalin thought it would be a good idea to dig this dude up, and then guess what happened? Hitler invaded Russia. Maybe you shouldn't go messing around with curses in the middle of the biggest war the world has ever seen. That's just a suggestion, but I think it's a pretty good one. Coming in number 6, we have the Björktorp runestones. You have some old runestones with a warning on them, and it says anyone who tries to damage or steal these runestones will be doomed or have some horrible things happen to them. It's like, dude, just listen to the warning. What do you even want a chunk of a runestone for? Just get a normal rock that doesn't have a curse on it. Well, the legend about the runestone is that the curse has been put on them by a powerful druid to protect them. Well, a bunch of people would think that's hogwash, but one dude apparently went to chip off a piece of the runestones. He was probably just doing this to prove a point, and he chose to do this by burning it with a blowtorch. It was extremely cold out, and he figured that the heat would cause the runestone to crack. Well, guess what happened? The wind changed direction, and then he lit himself on fire. fire. Now that sounds like a freak accident, and it probably was, but you can guarantee that I won't be lighting up any runestones anytime soon. Coming in at number 5, we have the 27 Club. If you're a world famous musician and you have a habit for taking a bunch of drugs, you might want to take it easy on your 27th year on this planet. The 27 Club is very strange. It would seem that there is a large amount of world famous musicians who have kicked the bucket before they hit age 28. Just to put in perspective how many legends are members of the 27 Club, we have Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. There's also Alan Wilson and Brian Jones, but some of you out there might not remember them. I mean, there are way more musicians who have made it past the age 27 than haven't, but it's still quite mysterious. I think many musicians give a sigh of relief when they hit age 28. Either they think, thank God I made it there, or they think I was never famous enough for anyone to care if I died anyways. Coming in at number 4, we have Little Bastard, the 550 Porsche Spyder that James Dean drove and had one of the most famous curses of all time. This car was nicknamed Little Bastard, and maybe if you're trusting a piece of machinery to get you everywhere, you should give it a nicer name, because the car eventually was the reason that James Dean died. Well, maybe it was his driving, but nevertheless, Mr. Dean died in a car accident while driving this car. After the car crash, the car was taken to a mechanic, and while rigged up, the car fell on the mechanic's leg and shattered it. There were pieces salvaged from the car and put into other cars, and several of those cars ended up in accidents where people either died or were seriously injured. And there was even a crew of people who broke into the yard where the car was being held, and one of them died when the body of the car fell on them, crushing them to death. So yeah, just leave this car alone. Coming in at number 3, we have the Gillette curse. Don't get their razors or you're gonna get a really bad razor burn. No, don't worry, this curse won't affect you unless you're a famous athlete. Well, thank God those years are behind me. Gillette has a history of using famous athletes for part of their branding deals. That's just a pretty common thing. But it would seem that many of the athletes that sign a sponsorship deal with the company soon see their careers go into the toilet. Perfect example was Tiger Woods. Not long after the world-class golfer was the face of the shaving brand, he suffered a major knee injury. Then, due to this knee injury, he started to perform terribly at events and was even criticized for his bad attitude. I mean, give the guy a break. He was once the best in the world, and now a crummy knee is making him lose. But wait, there's more. While the face of Gillette, there was also the major leak of Tiger Woods' affairs, which might have racked up to 120 women. At least he was still hitting holes in one somewhere. Hi-yo! Coming in at number 2, we have Venus in the Mirror. You think a painting that is supposed to represent beauty would be treasured, but no one wants this thing. Venus in the Mirror will take down anyone who is dumb enough to hang this thing in their home. Legend says that every owner of this painting has either had a horrible disease take their life or someone has come in and murdered them. There's even an added layer to this curse that says someone once tried to destroy the painting by cutting it with a knife, but the blade couldn't pierce the canvas. That's so creepy. And for our number 1 spot, we have Rasputin's curse. If you ever want a lesson in manipulation, lying, and lovemaking, then check this guy's backstory, but here's just a taste. Rasputin was born in 1869, and throughout his life, he started picking up the reputation for being a powerful clairvoyant. He was really just a con man, but very good at what he did. He was able to work his way into the Russian royal family, the Romanovs. He did this first by speaking to their youngest son, Alexis, who he would tell stories of spirituality, which would capture the young boy's mind. But he soon worked his way over to the women. He used his powers of manipulation to woo and seduce many of the women of the royal family, and I bet you can understand that the dudes in the house didn't dig this very much. So they decided that they would kill Rasputin. But Rasputin was sturdy. It took poison, gunshots, and drowning to send this dude to an early grave, and with his final breath, he mumbled that all of the Romanovs would be dead within a year. Well, a raid of the monarchy and slaughtering of all the figureheads would prove this curse right, so maybe he did have mystical powers after all. Alright everyone, that is all we have for the list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I am very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. First up, we have Boo Boo, who is chilling super hard. This cat looks so relaxed. After that, we have Jojo, who's doing the cutest sleep of all time. Look at how cute that cat is. Next, we have Libby, who is only 5 months old. Oh my God, I just want to kiss her little face. Then we have Letitia, who might be the fluffiest thing I have ever seen. And to close it out, we have Dodie and Monty, and they are both so cute together. All right, everyone, that is all we have for you here today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been your host, Jay Dorena, and keep an eye out for curses. Don't get them. They're bad. Bye. Bye.